Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now I'm recording this video from a slightly different location to the norm, and that's my living room. Before I continue with the video, I'm going to do a quick timepiece check, and today I'm wearing my Casio G-Shock. The purpose of this video is to talk about the watch choices I made in part 2 of the Watch Dealers Apprentice, but I'll be focusing on the turnips of my collection, or are they the diamonds in the rough? So yes, I'll be talking about the more controversial choices in my 5-watch collection, and I'll be talking about the reasons as to why I made those choices, and especially in the case of one watch, why I stand by that choice and still think it was a fantastic purchase and great addition to anyone's collection. Just before we move on to this, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for all the support I've had recently. My subscriber count has recently gone over the 100 barrier, which is a massively important barrier for any YouTuber. And of course, hopefully the channel can continue to grow. I think I'm on about 125 subscribers at the moment, so there's still room to improve. So let's see if we can get to 200 by the end of the year. Anyway, let's move on to the main point of this video, and that's where I discuss my final 2 choices in episode 2 of the Watch Dealers Apprentice. Video to follow. I'm now going to talk about my more controversial pieces in the collection. The first of which was the Moser Cie Endeavour, or Mayu. Now this watch was the most disliked watch of my collection by Paul and David. And I have to say, this was a huge surprise to me. But I still stand by my choice, and I'm going to explain to you the reasons why. But firstly, I'm going to take you through my initial thoughts when choosing this particular model. So this watch, of course, is the Moser Cie Endeavour. The reference number is a 321503, and it was a 2017 model. It has a 38.5mm dial encased in gold with a crocodile strap. Now the price I paid for this watch was $5,524, and it was also in very good condition. In terms of my notes, I said the following when making my choice. The amazing build quality of watches made by Moser Cie, who were founded in 1828 and relaunched in 2005 after the brand name was dropped in the 50s, is astonishing. For under 6K, you're getting design detail, precision and crafting similar to that in the very best watchmakers of the world. The price of such a piece is surely not sustainable at 5K, when you consider the amount of watch you get for your money here. The next best Moser I could find, with full box and papers in good condition and white dial with rose gold, was around 6.5K. In terms of the Endeavour that I chose, it has a clear caseback, and within that caseback you've got the Moser 321503 caliber movement, as I've already mentioned. This 27 jewel movement has a power reserve of around 3 days. Now another interesting thing about this movement is that it has a power reserve indicator, which I really love. But if you look at the detail itself in terms of how it's designed, the bridges themselves are extensively engraved and have double crested Geneve striping running through them. Very much like the FP Jaune, it looks like the bridges have an unglaze finish, which again is a fantastic piece of engineering. Although the bridges are not 18 karat gold, which is understandable given the FP Jaune is considerably more expensive. Additionally, the screws are black polished. Now another thing you may not know about Moser is that even the small parts of the movement, including the spring, are made in-house. Now even many companies that claim to make in-house movements outsource things like the spring because they're incredibly complicated and complex to make. In fact, when you study watches made by Moser some more, you realize that many of the engineering techniques found in much superior brands such as FP Jaune, for example, are also found in the Moser movements. Now I'm just going to briefly talk about my final selection, which was a 2001 Omega Seamaster from the Pierce Brosnan James Bond era. Now the price I paid for this watch was $1,470 in good condition. This of course is the reference 253180, and it has a 41mm dial. Now in terms of my notes made when buying this, because it was in good condition, it was a watch that I bought fully with the intention of perhaps maybe polishing and maybe giving it a bit more of a restoration with some of the money I had left over. A classic from Omega, who were founded in 1903. The condition is classed as good, however with a polish, looks as if it could be brought to very good, and is a more risky buy as it's from a private seller. However, this model has a full set of box and papers, and similar models being listed for £2,000 and over. So there you have it, the thought process behind why I chose the watches you saw in the program. I hope you found this entertaining, or at least something to think about, and I'm really pleased that Paul and David seem to like at least 3 of my choices. The Moser, I have to say I was slightly surprised that they didn't like, But I think I've explained my reasons for choosing this watch, and I'm sure you can see the merits of having an H. Moser watch in your collection, even if it's not your first choice. That's it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. And if you've been enjoying the content on my channel so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, as that really helps. I'll see you next time.